I didn't go live yet. Oh, jeez. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Hurricanes Unfiltered Live, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I am your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Welcome aboard this evening, ladies and gentlemen. So glad to have you back with me here on this. I think this is the sixth episode that I'm doing now live for Hurricanes Unfiltered. Appreciate everyone jumping on board. If you're in the room, please do drop a comment. I can acknowledge you. Welcome aboard, Rob Dukes. If you have, hit the like button as well. Appreciate that definitely. We'll be here for probably about 90 minutes or so. Before we jump on in, let me give a shout out to our sponsor of the show, Natalie Lopez, attorney at law. When life hits hard, the law firm of Natalie Lopez hits back harder. A South Florida criminal defense law firm built on strategy and results. Call 954 888 8833 and follow her on Instagram at nat dot guilty. That's at nat dot guilty on Instagram. Prepare to conquer your case. Appreciate everyone jumping on board. Welcome aboard him, that girl, Joy. Appreciate you jumping on. Again, if you are in the room, please do leave a comment. If you're new to the channel, please, if you enjoy it, definitely subscribe. I appreciate y'all all in advance. Like I said, we'll be here for about 90 minutes. The main channel is Come On Now, the podcast. Secondary channel, Rudy's Rant, that I'm building up as well, because that's the one where I talk about all kinds of topics. It started off kind of sports wise, but that's gonna be hitting all kinds of topics. Apologize for the darkness. It's weird because of the camera, like the way it's making me darker in here. I don't know. It's not dark in here at all. And I've adjusted it. I don't know if it looks real dark to y'all or not, but I think I'm gonna get another light to put on this side right here because I have one hitting me here. I might just get another one there. I mean, these lights ain't cheap, but yeah, we're here to talk Hurricane football. Here to talk Hurricane football, and that's what it's all about. And I dropped the press conference interviews today by Mario Cristobal, Shannon Dawson, and Corey Heatherman. They all spoke to the media today, and we put those videos up on the channel. Mario Cristobal actually did say that he had to rebuild this program. I mean, that he came in basically to a bear. I mean, he alluded that he had a bear covered. It's pretty wild. I find that interesting to say the least. Um, Shannon Dawson says the team offensively has been playing tight. You wonder why that is. Why do y'all think that is? I don't know. Because you're in a dull ass, boring ass offense, and you haven't run anything interesting to say the least for the duration of this season until you decided to run this play with Carson Beck on the QB throwback from Malachi Tony, and then running a play with CC Francis Magoa for the touchdown at the end of the game. And people did ask the question about why would you use that against Syracuse? And that is a question, as a question. Welcome aboard, Beast. That is a question that I have myself. Oh yeah, I forgot to put this up here. So all the comments are up. That's a question I have myself. I don't understand why you would utilize these types of plays against Syracuse when you really could have used them against Louisville and or SMU. And someone says to me in a chat or a post, "Well, you don't want to let everyone know what you got." Well, you just did against Syracuse. You need trick plays to score on Syracuse. Like, yeah, it's fun, it's cool, it's cute, but you shouldn't need to do that to score on Syracuse. It's one of those things where I sit here I've gone back and forth on this for the last few days because if you look at Miami's offense in this game, it was a 41-yard screen pass to Dalen Upshaw that set up the pass for Carson Beck for the touchdown. It was a 61-yard seam route to Keelan Marion, a perfect throw by Carson Beck, by the way. If you're going to take a dump on him when he doesn't do something right, in your opinion, you need to give him credit when he makes a great throw. And that was a great, great throw. Now, and then you run that play to Magoa. You scored on a pick six. You only kicked the field goal after you forced the fumble because you didn't want to attack them and hit for the jugular right there. And so you have all these different things happening. And when you look at how this team really, I mean, they had one drive where they scored the normal way, where they drove the ball and then they scored the normal way. Gerard Pringle, I think it was a 22-yard touchdown run. And so, yeah, 10 points come from the defense, the 3 and the 7, 14 on trick plays, 7 more. What was the other one? I don't remember. What they had one more touchdown. I mean, they had to go through hell to score on Syracuse. They had to pull it out the bag to score on Syracuse. That is a play I'm using when there's a game going on. I don't know if y'all saw it a few weeks back, but Alabama ran something similar, to their tackle, their left tackle. And he ran everybody over. But that was in a close game. It wasn't done when you're up 31-3, like, oh, let's have some fun. Use that play when you're in a game in which, oh shit, they ran that. Wow. You know, a play that they've practiced for 3 years. Some people may disagree with me. I don't know why they ran that play then. I don't know why you can't score on Syracuse, who sucks. If I have to listen to another speech about someone's defense being good, I think I'm gonna vomit. I think I'm really gonna vomit. We have now played a terrible SMU pass defense. We just played a terrible Syracuse defense, for which once again their coverages dictated our offense, according to Shannon Dawson today. He literally said it. If you haven't seen it, go check out the press conference. And then now I'm hearing again about how North Carolina State has a good defense. No, North Carolina State does not. have a good defense. Once again, NC State does not have a good defense. NC State has a good offense, but they don't have a good defense. I don't want to hear any nonsense about how they have a good defense. They do not have a good defense. Their defense sucks. Their defense is not a good defense. And I have to listen. Every time I have to listen to this stuff, it makes me gag. It literally makes me gag. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but and I'm not sitting here saying you say that the other team's defense stinks, but you don't have to keep gassing them up and making them sound like they're something special. I mean, NC State gives them 31 points a game. They give up 31 points a game. That's bottom 30 in the country. They get scored on with ease, yardage wise. Where are they here? They're like 115th, 425 yards a game. You know who's worse? Syracuse, 431. 430. And we couldn't score. We couldn't move the ball on them consistently. It makes no sense. Welcome aboard, Epinephrine, Troy, Patrick. They gave up 36 points to Georgia Tech. Haynes King had over 500 yards of offense. Did you know that? You want me to show you the stat box from that game? They didn't win that game because of some elite defense. They won that game because they scored 48 points. I'm going to show you the stat box if you don't believe me. They won 48-36. Haynes King, I shit you not. The dude threw for 400 plus yards. 400 plus yards. Come on, dude. I don't want to hear that this is some elite level freaking defense. No, it is not. It is not. Here you go. 48-36. Haynes King. I'm going to zoom this bad boy. 400 and let's just go right to the box. Let's go to the box score. Haynes King, 25 of 35 for 408 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. 20 carries for 103 yards and 2 touchdowns. He accounted for 511 yards of offense by himself. He's the whole team. CJ Bailey had a great game, 340, 2 touchdowns. Jaden Scott rushes for almost 200 yards. Numbers are numbers. Numbers are the numbers, man. Team stats. 30 first downs by Georgia Tech. 559 yards. And you're going to tell me that they got a good defense? No, they don't. Their defense stinks. And they were pretty clean except for one turnover, the one pick. And I didn't see the game, by the way. This was a shootout. This was a shootout. Let's look at the score. 7-0 NC State. 7-7, 14-7, 14-10, 17-14 Georgia Tech. 21-17, 24-17, 24-20, 31-20, 31-23, 38-23, 38-30, 41-30, 48-30, 46, 48-30. I mean, they had 500 plus. I mean, come on. Come on. And we're going to have some unreal, ridiculous excuse for why magically the Hurricanes don't get 400 yards of offense in this game somehow. Is that what we're going to do? We're going to make an excuse for why we don't have 400 yards of offense, why Carson Beck can't throw for 300 against this defense? And tell me again why he couldn't throw for 300 against Syracuse? Because you don't call plays downfield ever. You have a reason for everything. You punted your first 4 possessions against Syracuse. You punted your first 4 possessions against that trash-ass team. David, you got me, bro. You got me on this one. You've got me. We will somehow make this damn defense look like it's the 85 Bears. I mean, for real, beast. So yeah, I'm giving you data. There's data. Don't 559 yards of offense. They can score though. They can score, and we better not start off punting the ball 4 times. I've listened to now 3 separate people say, if it wasn't for this, then this could have been this. But it wasn't. And if I had titties, I'd be a woman. Like, what does this mean? I've heard Carson Beck say it. I've heard Shannon Dawson say it. I've heard Mario Cristobal say it. I've heard all 3 of these dudes say the first play of the game, and I don't even remember it, man. The first play, they had a pass to Malachi Tony, and they said, if the guy doesn't tip the ball, it's going for an 80-yard touchdown. Do y'all remember this? I don't know. Maybe you do. I don't remember this. I don't remember this. I don't remember it. I don't remember it. Maybe y'all remember it, but I've heard that 3 times now. JoJo Trader dropped the pass that would have been an easy first down. That hurt. But we had Gerard Pringle sitting on the bench until the second half. Once Gerard Pringle entered the game, the entire offense seemingly changed in the third quarter. You want to blame Carson Beck, beast? I mean, fine. The dude was 18 to 24. He's doing what they're allowing him to do. He's running the plays that they're being called. He's not going to audible out of them. He's not going to Cam Ward it and do his own thing. You know, he had a solid game. I mean, not a great game. A solid game. He didn't make any mistakes. 18 to 24, 247. 1 touchdown. He should have been 2, but that was the throwback to Maigoa. He didn't play. I mean, statistically, that was actually one of his not a bad game from QB. Quarterback rating was his 4th best quarterback rating of the season. And and yet when you call that seam route or you call that crossing route, both of them that went to Keelan Marion, they both hit big. But yet we would rather run the damn Dalen Upshaw play 1,000 times. Shannon Dawson said again, we ran that exact same play versus SMU. Didn't work. Well, it worked this time. Great. I'm happy it worked. He said Dalen Upshaw hit the hole hard. He said they gave a lot of credit to Drake. The Brockermeyer says he obliterated his block. He destroyed the guy on his block. Good. But again, if I have to rely on a wide receiver screen to go for 40 yards, what am I doing? Like, what are we not going to let a quarterback play quarterback ever? Is this going to be the offense for the duration of the season? That we're going to just run swing passes and shit and say, oh, well, they're playing back, so we're not going to ever attack them downfield. Now, maybe we have a change. I said it on Saturday. Gerard Pringle should start. I don't give a shit. Gerard Pringle should be starting. I don't want to see Jordan Lyle. I don't want to see Marty Brown. Gerard Pringle's starting. By the way, I've heard that Mark Fletcher's out for the season. They're not going to announce that, but I've heard he's out for the season. Take that for what it's worth. I've heard from a couple people that Mark Fletcher is probably out for the season because they're not announcing what his injury actually is. In typical Miami fashion. Typical fashion. But a couple people that I've talked to he's out for the year. More than likely. That is possibly something more than something more. Like if JoJo Trader doesn't drop that ball on that crosser, that play might go for 30, 40 yards. I don't know. He was on the move. Like he dropped the ball. Maybe that's why he ain't playing. Maybe that's why he hasn't played. Maybe they see him drop 3 passes a day in practice. I don't know. This dude's dropped passes. He's dropped passes. And I don't want to hear excuses about he has to get in the rhythm. What? Get in the rhythm. Catch the freaking ball. Catch the ball. It's your job. Literally your job. You get paid. Catch the ball. We got to stop talking about guys like they're not pros. Like these guys are pros. They get paid to play. You get paid to play. If you're getting paid to play, catch the goddamn ball. It ain't complicated. Because if that's an NFL player, you're losing your shit. Here, it's funny the amount of leeway that I've heard going JoJo Trader's way. And I'm not here to take a dump on him, but it's funny the amount of leeway he's being given to drop passes. It ain't being given the same way to other people. It ain't being given the same way to other people. Because my God, the amount of hate that Carson Beck gets, this guy's probably going to throw for 3,500 yards, probably 23 to 25 touchdowns. And if he doesn't throw any more picks, let me ask you a question. If he doesn't throw another pick this season, did he have a good year? If he finishes with 3,500 yards passing, 24 touchdowns and 9 picks, is that a good season or is that a shit season? I don't know. In the way that they run this offense and call these plays, I think that's pretty goddamn good. I mean, he ain't perfect. I don't expect him to be. No one on this team is perfect. Far from it. Starting with the head coach, next to the offensive coordinator. Definitely, those guys are sure as hell not perfect. You know, I did see a little bit more energy from Mario Cristobal in the last press conference on Saturday night. He did seem to have a little more zest. I mean, not zest, but oomph to him. Seemed like a little bit more to him there. But Gerard Pringle needs to start. Remember when we were told that they can't run the ball to the outside out of shotgun? Isn't that what Shannon Dawson told the whole media as he was condescending and shit to them and trying to insult them, insult their intelligence? Gerard Pringle sure as hell ran the ball to the outside and did a damn good job of it. And when the ball was called to the inside and there was a hole, he exploded through the hole. Yeah, Duke, I used the wrong word. I'm not calling the guy gay. I mean, like some aggression. You know, the Pringle needs to start. Period. If Pringle's not starting on Saturday, I'm gonna be pissed. Pringle needs to start. You start Pringle, the defense has to adjust. Well, I disagree, Troy. He's terrible for a quarterback who's been in college. Dude, most of these guys have been in most of these transfer QBs have been in college for 6 years now. Most of them have. Most of these guys have been in college for 6 years now. Go look at Cade Klubnik. He's 5 years, isn't he 5 years in at freaking Clemson? He's been the starter at Clemson. He was called a Heisman candidate before the season started. He got, I mean, well, he's been there for 4. He's at least 4, but they're 4 and 5. But I mean, John Mateer, what year is John Mateer in at Oklahoma? Everybody's terrible then. I mean, because I don't find quarterback play in college to be good. I think Dante Moore sucks. I think Dante Moore sucks. He threw a nice ball against Iowa to save their game, but they were down 16-15 against Iowa. I think he's completely overhyped. Not any good. His best win this year is against Iowa. Best win for Oregon is Iowa. I mean, Garrett Nussmeier. Oh my God, he was the Heisman leader coming into this season. That guy was the Heisman leader coming into this season. That guy's terrible. Would you rather have him or Carson Beck? I'm curious. I'm curious. I don't find quarterback play in college to be all that great. I think systems and play calling have a great deal to do with success of quarterbacks in college. Do I think that Carson Beck does still have some arm issues? Yeah, I think he probably still has some arm issues. But I mean, there you go, Duke. Yeah, right there. I mean, Michael Penix was 24 years old. Cam Ward was 24 years old. Didn't Cam Ward play 6 years of college football? He played at least 5. I'm pretty sure he played 6. He played 2 years at Washington State, 1 year at Miami. Didn't he also play at freaking he played at Incarnate Word or whatever the hell it was for a couple seasons? He played at least 5. And going into his 1 year at Miami, no one really knew nothing about the dude. Jaden Daniels had to went to Arizona State if I remember correctly. He played 5 years of college football. The year before his last year at LSU, he had thrown for 17 touchdowns at LSU, no less. Open it up. Hey, I don't think he folds under pressure. I don't think I didn't say that, Cuban Can. I know you like to make shit up, bro. They don't trust him. Do you trust the coaches? Do you trust the coaches on this team? Did you right now? I love Cam Ward. Are you seeing what's happening in NFL right now? Are you seeing the season he's having right now? He is literally the worst quarterback in the NFL this year. Literally, statistically, the worst starting quarterback in the NFL this year, right now. I think our coaching staff stinks. I think our coaching staff is what's folding. They choke their asses off. They're afraid to call plays. I was flabbergasted when Mario Cristobal called a timeout with 2 minutes to go in the first half to try to get the ball back. I was shocked, flabbergasted, bamboozled. I was like, oh my God, are you serious? I got a damn offensive coordinator. He's called trick plays to score on Syracuse. Thank you, David. I think Emory Williams will never play it down another meaningful down at Miami unless somebody gets hurt. Unless someone gets hurt, I don't think he'll play another meaningful down. I think he'll be in the transfer portal himself at the end of this season because he'll want to play somewhere. Welcome aboard, Jake. I've said it. I've talked about that stat, Duke, for so many times. I've mentioned that statistic. He had the most drop passes from any wide receiver group in the country last year, and people use that against him and say he stinks because of it. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. You didn't watch Georgia play. That's when I know that you didn't watch Georgia play. And I ain't calling Carson Beck the greatest quarterback on earth, but I know you didn't watch Georgia play if you didn't know that he had the most drop passes in the country from his wide receivers last year at Georgia. This team. I keep it a buck, man. I can go back to when I covered with Inside the U and listen to the excuses from Randy Shannon's dumbass, followed by Al Golden's dumbass, followed by Mark Richt's dumbass, followed by Manny Diaz's dumbass. And now I listen to Mario Cristobal's dumbass with the excuses every fucking week. This man said today he had to rebuild the whole program, that there was no talent. Bro, this team has had the top 15 recruiting classes for 20 years straight and loses. Like he said that SMU had as much talent as Miami. Are you on drugs? Like, are you what? Give me that crack pipe, man. Give me that weed. Give me whatever it is that you just snorted up. Because you're not going to sit here and tell me that SMU has the same talent level as Miami. I don't want to hear it. That's ridiculous. They got to have an excuse for losing constantly. Am I confident in this team winning the last 3? No. But it's not because of the players. And it's damn sure not because of Carson Beck. It's because I don't know what the hell the coaches are going to do from week to week. I'm comfortable with Corey Heatherman. I'm very comfortable with Corey Heatherman, the defensive coordinator. They've not given up more than 24 points one game. 24 points is the most points given up all season. That was against Louisville. Like, I'm sorry, I don't count the SMU 26 as the most because that was overtime. Regulation, 24 points is the most points they've given up this season in a game. 24 points. Mario Cristobal is the reason we lost to SMU. He's the reason. That decision to call timeout that created the penalty that many people think shouldn't have been called a penalty, but was. He is the reason that penalty happened. It's his fault. But he comes out and says it's us. No, it was you. Your fault. You're the boss. I'll repeat this as I've said before. You got leaders and you got bosses. I did not, Jake. You want to clue me in there? You put in the comment. Let me know what he said. I don't know what he said. Let us know. There's leaders and there's bosses. There's that leader who you're pulling that boulder. He's pulling the boulder with you. And then there's the boss. He's standing on the boulder telling you to pull it. Every time I hear Mario talk, I hear a boss. I don't hear a leader. I hear someone who's telling people to. I've heard from many people that coaches on that team, our staff, are petrified of him, that former coaches don't like him, that current coaches don't like him. I did post the video about the QB situation. I did post that video about what are we going to do at quarterback next year, because I mean we do have to look at it. It's going to come up sooner as heck. It'll be coming up really quickly. Are you going back to the portal for another quarterback? Or are you going to go and start developing your guys at quarterback? And there's a split thought process on that. I don't know what y'all think. You can leave it in the comment. Let me know what y'all think about that. I think if you have the chance to get CJ Bailey, you get him. You get CJ Bailey. I don't think you play around with that. And I'm told that he's a done deal. I mean, it isn't an ACC game. He should care, because if he doesn't care, then his team is probably going to lose. But that's a stupid thing to say. And if they lose, they lose. I mean, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Just think we're at a point now where, you hear what you hear. I mean, if I'm Bailey, well, he's from here, so you don't. He wanted to come here. He wanted to come here. So I can't speak for what the kid feels. I don't see why he wouldn't want to come here. He'll be the starter. And he'll have way more talent around him. Look what he's doing at North Carolina State with the talent that he has around him right there. He's killing it. I mean, they're only 5-4, but this dude's having a monster season. He's having an absolutely monster season. So when you look at it from that perspective, I mean, this kid is balling. You give him a Malachi Tony. I think JoJo Trader stays in Miami if CJ Bailey comes here. I don't think he transfers out if CJ Bailey comes here. The Duke loss to UConn was ridiculous. I couldn't believe that. But I would absolutely want to come here if I'm CJ Bailey. I want to play with more talent. Here's the thing about typical athletes. I mean, you have typical Epinephrine. That was the SMU game, and he has 1,000 excuses for that. And I listened to Don Bailey Jr. make excuses for that. Everyone's got an excuse. To me, it's ridiculous. You throw the ball down the middle of the field. If you try to make a play, if you don't make a play, that's fine. But sitting here and saying that the odds and all that crap, and like, bro, if you don't hit the first pass for 20 yards, then you put your knee down. But you don't sit here and act like, or maybe you take 2 shots. Well, he's a part of it, but I mean, there was the offensive line committed 9 penalties. They're a part of it too. The real reason for it was Mario Cristobal. It's interesting how Mike McDaniel gets all the blame for the Dolphins, but Mario Cristobal doesn't get all the blame for the Hurricanes. It's interesting. It's interesting, to say the least. But I'm sitting here and I'll tell you that, yeah, you take a shot, man. You take one or two shots down the middle of the field. If you don't get it, then you end the game. You put your knee, you go to overtime. What is the SEC ACC best win against the Power Four out of well yeah, obviously FSU's win over Bama is the best win probably based on what we're seeing now, and Miami over Notre Dame is the second best win. By the way, I want to hit on Notre Dame for a second, and I'm obviously not a Notre Dame fan, but I think that the commentary on Notre Dame's schedule is ridiculous. I think someone made a comment. There was a coach that made a comment. The Texas Tech coach made a comment about not playing in a conference, as if Notre Dame isn't playing a fucking heavy schedule. They played Miami to open on the road. They played Texas A&M, was ranked third in the country. They played Boise State, who was in the playoffs last year. They played NC State, who we played this week, who we're nervous about, and they beat them by 29 points. They played USC, who's number 17 in the country right now. They're going to play Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh this week. Yeah, their last two, Syracuse and Stanford, shit. But for a team that's not in the ACC, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ACC games. But they've not played some dumpster fire schedule. Their schedule's not a dumpster fire. You know whose schedule's a dumpster fire right now? Oregon. Oregon's schedule is a dumpster fire, if you want to be honest. Look at their schedule. Their best win is against Iowa. People made a big deal about that Penn State game. Penn State ain't won a game since. I never thought Penn State was good to begin with. They don't walk around like Alabama going to play 2 Division IV schools. Like when people take shots at that shit, it really kind of irritates me because I don't like Notre Dame, but it's like, bro, when Miami was an independent, Miami's schedule was ridiculous every year. Remember when Notre Dame was playing Michigan also? Like they would play a loaded ass schedule. Like you're like Texas Tech. You're in the Big 12. You're in the Big freaking 12. Who the hell is Texas Tech beating this year besides BYU, who's in conference? Let's look at their schedule. They played Arkansas Pine Bluff. They played Kent State. They played Oregon State. Those are their first 3 games. Pine Bluff is 3-6. They beat them 67-7. Kent State is, what is Kent State now? Kent State is, no, that's not. That's 3-6. They beat them 62-14. Oregon State is 2-8. Those are their 3 non-conference games. A combined 8-22. So they beat Utah on the road. They played Houston, Kansas State, Arizona State. They lost to Arizona State. Oklahoma State, Kansas. Their last 2 games are UCF and West Virginia, and people are going to walk around. Those dudes are going to puff their chest out. Come on, man. Their 3 freaking non-conference games are against my ass crack. And he's puffing his chest about his schedule. USC probably beats everyone on his schedule. Miami probably beats everyone on that schedule, presuming we play properly. Texas A&M beats everyone on that schedule. The Big 12 is a dumpster. It's worse than the ACC. Like him saying that crap, Lord have mercy. That was ridiculous. And BYU, BYU gets beat by 22 points and drops to 12. I hope to. Texas Tech has the most expensive roster I read yesterday or today. They have the most expensive roster. Yeah, Duke, SEC guys play their cupcakes in week 11. They play them in week 11. BYU schedule. Portland State, East Carolina. They played Stanford. They beat them 27-3. You want to compare scoreboard watch? We beat them 42-7. They beat Colorado. Struggled with Colorado, who sucks. 24-20 when I watched that game. Colorado damn near beat them in that game. West Virginia, Arizona, Utah, Iowa State, Texas Tech. They got TCU, Cincinnati, and UCF. They got 2 ranked teams in their entire schedule. And they're 1-1. And yet BYU drops only 4 spots. Miami lost by 3 points to a team that's ranked in the top 20 right now. Louisville was ranked in the top. They weren't when we played. They should have been ranked. If this was the SEC, Louisville's ranked when we played them. And I think we're way better than Louisville, obviously. But they're a ranked team when we play them, right? They're a ranked team now. So we lose by 3. They got beat by 22. We dropped 8 spots. They dropped 4. We lose by 6 in overtime to SMU. We dropped 8 more spots. Again, they dropped 4. It's just ridiculous. No, Cal makes no sense. Cal's weird, man. But they're a microcosm of the ACC. I mean, you look at, hell, Alabama. Their schedule, they play Louisiana Monroe, and they got Eastern Illinois in 2 weeks. That's their, and they had FSU and Wisconsin. Wisconsin stinks. These SEC teams are all, they play their fluffery in non-conference. All that said, I mean, I did my video on the ranking. People say, oh, we don't deserve it. It's not about deserving it. It ain't about deserving it. I don't care about deserving. I care about what the reality is. Deserving something, you don't deserve anything. You earn shit. You earn shit, right? That's how I always stand on you earning stuff, not deserving anything. So when people cry about, oh, we deserve, they deserve it. Like the WNBA players think they deserve to get paid more money. Motherfuck, you don't. You earn more money by producing. By producing, you earn more money. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve shit. You deserve what you're given. What you're given is what you deserve. But when you have a team that you beat, and I understand why Miami is so far apart from Notre Dame, because we lost 2 of the last 4 and they've won 7 straight. To be not 7 spots apart is utterly ridiculous. It's like everything that Miami did in the first 5 weeks has just been thrown in the trash can. And that's the thing that bothers me about the poll, for which I told y'all the AP poll matters, and they literally matched that shit up almost identically. They almost matched that shit up identically. By the way, if you haven't done so yet, please hit the like button on the video. I appreciate y'all being here tonight, and subscribe to the channel. Again, they matched that poll up almost identically because these people in the committee are a bunch of fucking idiots that don't know what they're doing. They stat box. They stat box watch. I mean, that's what they do. They don't watch these games. Like, ask yourself how many times, every time I hear about how great the SEC is, I ask people, how many SEC games have you actually seen? So they're great because they play each other. Well, you ranked the whole damn conference in the top 25 to start the season. They didn't have to play anybody, and you gave them a fucking boot. You gave them a fucking You gave them a ladder up on everybody else. They had 10 ranked teams to start the year in the top 25. Florida was one of them. South Carolina was one of them. But Louisville wasn't in the conversation. Virginia wasn't in the conversation. Were they? I don't remember. Who the hell was Clemson was for the ACC, which is a Dabo ranking. We all know that. It was not because they earned it. Louisville's nowhere to be found. Virginia's nowhere to be found. Georgia Tech is nowhere to be found. The only ranked teams in the ACC to start the year were SMU, Miami, and Clemson. Nobody else was ranked in the ACC in the top 25 to start the season. So Texas gets beat to start the year. They drop, then they get beat up by Florida. They drop out, but then they get to move back on in because they beat a couple of powder puffs in the SEC, or they beat some ranked SEC teams that are not that good. Tennessee's been ranked all season. I mean, they're 24 to start the year. And right now, I think they're ranked 23rd or 24, something like that, with 3 losses. You got all these ranked teams in the SEC. It's like, just give them the damn booster seat, bro. Shit's ridiculous. So, yeah, when I see BYU drop to 12, I said it on on Saturday night. I said it on a Saturday night when I did the impromptu live. I said, yo, they're going to jump up. Miami's going to jump up at least to 16. At least to 16. Could be 15, could be 14. We'll find out tomorrow in the CFP. AP, the coaches poll, 16. And somehow Utah, who didn't play, jumped 4 spots and go ahead of us on the coaches poll. I mean, how? How? Like, come on. Come on. Now, this weekend's huge. By the way, Vanderbilt barely gets by Auburn, who just fired their coach, and they move up. They move up. This weekend's big. This is a big weekend. Everything is irrelevant if Miami doesn't win. Miami has to win. Miami has to win. It's that simple. We all know this. This isn't any secret. We all know Miami has to win. It's very simple. At the same time, at the very least, we need Texas and Oklahoma to lose to Alabama, to Georgia and Alabama. If Alabama and Georgia lose to Texas and Oklahoma, I'll put it down here right now. Playoffs are over. Doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter what we do. If Texas and Oklahoma beat Alabama and Georgia this weekend, nothing else will matter. Because Alabama and Georgia will not get dropped out of the top 15 or top 13 or top 14. Miami will not jump those 2 teams. We know this already, despite the fact that Miami has a win over Florida State and Alabama lost to Florida State. We all know this. And Georgia barely got by Florida, and we beat Florida by 19. We all know this because they will drop Alabama to probably 10, 9 or 10. Georgia to 10 or 11. And Texas and Oklahoma will jump up to 6, 5 or 6. And that would be fucking catastrophic. That would be the most devastating result of this weekend. Now, if they both win like I expect them to do, they are favored in both their games. Both their games are at home. They should win. They're the better team in both situations. If they get the job done, then that means Texas and OU are done. They're 3-loss teams. They're going to drop below 15. Miami will move up. Notre Dame, Pittsburgh. I'd like Pittsburgh to win this game. It's helpful for the Hurricanes. But I don't think it's devastating for Miami if they don't. But it's helpful. Now, Pittsburgh has to split. They got to beat Notre Dame or Georgia Tech. I think they got to beat one of them. I prefer them to win them both. If they win them both, that last game up at Pitt, if we're 9-2, is a mega game. And if we win, we're in the playoffs. We are in the playoffs. It'll be a fourth ranked win. You'll go in having won 4 straight games. And I would be flabbergasted, shocked if Miami didn't somehow get in there as a 10 or 11 seed. I'd be shocked. Maybe even a 9. There's other teams that could also lose. Texas A&M could lose. There's games that they can lose on their schedule, whether it's Texas, whether it's potentially in an SEC championship game. There are games that they can lose. Indiana or Ohio State are going to be in the playoffs. They're in the playoffs. You can mark it down. I mean, they're in because they're going to play each other for the Big Ten championship more than likely, unless Ohio State somehow loses to Michigan in Ann Arbor, which is possible. Ohio State's good. I don't think there's a great college football team there. I don't think there's one great college football team. Ohio State's good. Are they beatable? Absolutely. Every one of these teams is beatable. Every single one. They all have their warts. Texas Tech could end up losing in the Big 12 championship game. What happens to them if that happens? Don't even know who the heck they'll be playing because BYU could lose to Cincinnati. Because they play Cincinnati, I believe, is next in 2 weeks. They could lose to TCU. I have no idea. These teams are all losing left and right. So, but I do believe, and I feel very confident in that opinion, that if Miami wins out and Pittsburgh's 9-2, that Miami beats them. If Miami beats them, Miami's in the playoffs. But if Pittsburgh loses and is 7-4, you just got to win, and it's going to be tough. Pittsburgh's going to be tough at home. It's going to be cold. But maybe if they've lost back-to-back games to Georgia Tech and Notre Dame, maybe, or they've beaten Georgia Tech but lost Notre Dame, maybe they're not feeling as high and mighty as they were. And their defense also gives up a lot of points. Again, another team that's defensively not very good. Defensively not very good. My God, where is Cam Ward when we need him, man? I mean, good grief, we need Cam Ward. This is the time where we need Cam Ward for real, because Cam Ward, my God, with this defense, we would be playing for a national championship. With this defense, with Cam Ward, we would be playing for a national championship. There's no doubt about it in my mind. We'd be playing for a national championship. But it is a big weekend of football, and there's a lot of opportunity out there. There's no reason to put your head down, get sad. Miami got to take care of business on Saturday. The game is at 3:30. You're playing your final regular season game at home. Go out and support these guys, man. You don't have to like Mario Cristobal. I can't stand watching this man coach. I hate watching him coach. And I want the guys to win, man. I want these dudes to win. I want them to win for a number of reasons. Like, I want to win 11 games. At the very least, I want to win 4 in a row and win a bowl game. We haven't won 11 games since I was goddamn just out of college. Before I had children. It's like we ain't won 11 games since what, 04? Cam Ward, oh, for sure. Cam Ward would have been the Heisman this year with this defense. Jesus Christ. I know you want to troll Cuban Kane. I get it. You want to do the trolling thing. I never said that, but hey. I guarantee you there's a lot of teams that are in front of us that would take Carson Beck over their quarterback that they got right now. There's a lot of them that would. There's a lot that would happily take him. But, they're also coached by better coaches. What do you think Lane Kiffin would have with this team right now? What do you think Lane Kiffin would have with this team right now? Who? You tell me Notre Dame wouldn't take Carson Beck over CJ Carr? You're telling me BYU wouldn't take Carson Beck over a freshman quarterback? You're telling me that Come on, man. Carson Beck left Georgia. They didn't throw him out. He would have been their starter this year if he had not left. He'd be their starter. He would be their starter. No one knew Fernando Mendoza would do this. He was 6-6 at Cal last year. He was 6-6 at Cal. He was a mediocre freaking quarterback. You handed him to a coach who has utilized his ability and made him look like a Heisman Trophy winner, despite the fact that they damn near lost to a 3-6 Penn State last weekend. Like, we can jump up and down about Fernando Mendoza. Homeboy damn near lost to Penn State. Needed a toe tap, needed a ridiculous catch. Heck, if you want to know why they were losing, he was the reason they were losing. He was the reason they were losing that game. I think there's a culture problem. I think there's an issue with coaches. I think there's a dislike issue within that locker room. I think there's coaches that don't care for each other. There's issues with coaching where they're not on the same page. I think Shannon Dawson will be gone at the end of this year, no matter what. No matter what. Because his career is being driven into the ground. We criticize him, but do we really know who's really calling the plays? You tell me an air raid type of guy is calling the bullshit that he calls every game? This is part of a game plan that's been put in place by the guy in charge. Like if I gave you how many of y'all watch women's basketball? How many of y'all watch women's basketball? I know some of y'all do. Some of y'all might. I'm giving you Caitlin Clark, and I'm telling you to put Caitlin Clark and I'm the coach, and I tell you to put Caitlin Clark in the corner and take the ball out of her hands. Am I maximizing what I got with Caitlin Clark? No. If I go bring Aaron Judge to the plate in baseball, if I bring Aaron Judge to the plate in baseball, do I tell Aaron Judge to drop a bunt down? Fuck no. Like, we have made a team that has weapons, and we throw two tight ends on the field at the same time. We throw two tight ends on the field at the same damn time. Like, do you find yourself seeing that and saying, what in the hell? So we got two guys that are almost guaranteed to not get the ball because either they can't catch, they can't run a route properly, they can't block. So we got two guys out there who are not weapons, right? How about, so now I've limited myself to 3 wide receivers and a running back. Actually, I'm sorry, 2 wide receivers and a running back. 2 wide receivers and a running back. So that's 2, 4, 5. Yeah. So now I got 2 tight ends out there, but I got 2 wide receivers and a running back. You want to know why Miami can't move the ball? When I got 2 tight ends out there, but I'm sorry. I don't care how bad someone might be as a wide receiver. Why am I lining up Elijah Lofton outside? Why am I ever lining up Alex Bauman outside? Fuck are we doing? Why in the world are we doing that? Why in the world would we do that? Can you imagine Cam Ward last year playing these secondaries this year that we've just played and you telling him don't throw the ball down the field? We're not going to call plays to throw the ball down the field. People, have you not seen the throws that Carson Beck has made down the field in games this year? He has made some perfect passes down the field. The touchdown to Malachi Tony against Florida State and the flea flicker, I mean, as perfect as it gets. The first pass to do to Malachi Tony in that game, that ball went through Malachi Tony's hands. It was perfectly thrown ball. He's thrown perfect deep balls a number of times this year. So because they're playing deep, we don't throw the ball. We don't even run routes that are deep. We don't even run routes that create space. So let's say I throw this, I throw the guy on the edge out here. I throw the guy on the edge out here, or I take the slot guy and I have him going out and up. And I bring the outside receiver, and I do a crosser with him. I've now stretched these motherfuckers way outside, way out, and I got the middle of the field wide open. Some get picked. That's football. That's football. Cam Moore threw cross-body throws that got picked. We were down 35-10 to Cal last year because he threw a cross-body throw that was taken back for a touchdown. We praised him for the comeback, but he was part of the reason we were losing. Like, come on. Lenoris Sellers is a quarterback that people are talking about coming to Miami. Go look at Lenoris Sellers' numbers right now. If that guy was the quarterback at Miami right now, you guys would be jumping off of a freaking cliff. You guys would be jumping off of a cliff. You want me to read you Lenoris Sellers' stats right now at South Carolina? This motherfucker's falling off of a cliff. This dude last year threw for 25-34, 65.6%, 18 TDs, 7 interceptions. This year, he is at 61.7 completion percentage, 7 touchdown, 5 picks, and a 132 QB rating. His QBR is 58.6. It's 70th. 70th. Carson Beck's is 17th. Like, come on. But this guy is people talking about him coming here. Last year he rushed for 674 yards. This year he's rushed for 158, 1.4 yards per carry. I mean, that might as well be Carson Beck as a running back. You want to go bring him down here? There are people that want him down here. There are people that want him down here. You need coaches to coach, man. It ain't rocket science. It ain't rocket science to call plays to get guys open that are skilled like this. No, you want to throw tight ends out there. You want to put these tight ends out there and hope that the tight ends can get the job done. I mean, hey, you do it. Go ahead. You see what's happened. We've watched it now for 9 games. We've watched it for 9 games. I mean, I hope that kid Bauman's okay, but I ain't losing sleep if he doesn't play this weekend. I hope he's okay, but I am not losing 1 ounce of sleep if he doesn't play this weekend. Don't know if he's really injured or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out Friday because we never find out about real injuries until the day before the game. I think we're missing CJ Daniels right now. It's tough. I hope he can play this weekend. I doubt he will, but I hope he can. Keelan Marin's given a crosser. He takes it for freaking 30 yards. He gives a seam. He goes for 61 yards. Like these plays have been there available all season long. We just haven't run them. We decide to run all this shit against Syracuse. We want to bring out our trick plays against Syracuse. I don't know what y'all think about that. I don't know what y'all think about that. Hmm. Let's see what else. I'm not going to get into the ACC dynamic right now because the odds of the Hurricanes making the ACC championship are very, very slim. You would need like 50,000 things to go the right way. I mean, they need like there's like 5 things and they need 4 of the 5 way. Probably dig into that next week, presuming that we win. because that's when it might start to matter. And that's when I'll look at it because I'm not gonna really bother with that tonight because there's still a lot of stuff that has to happen. And yeah, now I ain't going down that rabbit hole right now. My name is Rudy. Oh, oh, um, yeah. I'm I'm not. If here's the problem. Here's the real problem with it, and this is the problem with the conference situation now. This is the conference issue that exists right now. Is you've got the conference situation right now is a big problem because of the amount of teams in these conferences. Now you have this bullshit where you have this bullshit now where you have, you know, these teams don't play each other. And that's a problem because they don't play each other. You miss out on the reality. Like you miss out on these teams like Duke playing Miami. These schedules are crazy. They should probably go back to divisions. They should go back to having divisions, in my opinion. Because at this point, it's like, what are we doing exactly where we have these teams never playing? And that I find to be a big problem within this landscape is like you look at Miami and you look at who has Duke played? Who has Duke played this season? They can literally make the ACC championship with, is it 5 losses or 4 losses? Let me pull it up. Duke schedule. They're 5-4. They beat Elon, they lost to Illinois, they lost to Tulane. They beat NC State, I don't know how. They beat Syracuse, Cal, lost to Georgia Tech. They beat Clemson. They lost to UConn. They played Virginia this week. They could beat Virginia. I wouldn't be shocked if they beat Virginia. But then they played North Carolina and Wake Forest to finish their season. They could literally go 8-4 and be in the ACC championship. That's absolutely ridiculous. They could be 8-4 and win and go to the ACC championship because they have played one ranked team. I mean, NC State. I'm surprised NC State didn't beat them, but and look at this guy Mensa throwing for 373, 361, 313, 334, 389. Wow, look at homeboy Manny Diaz allowing this dude to chuck it all around the field. You know, he can toss that ball all around the field. It's kind of crazy when you really dig into it, because that's bananas. That's bananas. And they could actually go to the ACC championship at 8-4. Wild. It's wild. I really don't care about the ACC championship, to be honest. I don't care about it. It doesn't mean a damn thing to me. Damn thing to me. I need Miami to win 4 games in a row. I need to see Miami go to Pitt and win at Pitt. I need to see Miami handle business this weekend against NC State. That's what we need to see. That's what we need to see. That's what I want to see, and that's going to be what will be I mean, all the other crap doesn't matter. A portal window. Oh man, portal. Portal. You mean as far as the Hurricanes, people leaving, or who they're trying to go get? Okay, the Heat game's going to overtime against Cleveland, 128-128 overtime. Hawkins hits a 10-footer to tie it. Wow. I think Ray Joseph is gone for sure. I think Emery Williams will be in the portal. I think Elijah Lofton will be in the portal. Those are guys off the rip that I believe will be in the portal. I think Jordan Lyle will hit the portal. Well, isn't it right after or right during the playoffs, which is absolutely fucking stupid. Let me look at the date. The portal window is January 2nd to 16th. So it's actually going on during the playoffs. Now, I'll say this. I'm glad they got rid of the one in the spring. That's just stupid. The fact that you could have guys come to spring practice and then leave is outrageous. Outrageous. To have guys come in the spring, play spring ball, and then transfer out at the end of April or beginning of May or whatever it was, I thought was outrageous. It is I'm thankful that they changed it and and all that stuff, but I mean they're gonna if you're playing deep in the playoffs, you got double time work, man. You're gonna be working. I do feel for the teams that are playing at that point. I hope we're one of them, but it is definitely something that creates massive levels of distraction to me. I don't know what y'all think about that. I think it creates massive just distraction levels because you're supposed to be focused on a playoff game. But I'm sitting here worrying about who the fuck is my quarterback next year or who's my running back next year or who I'm bringing in. So I got to have you really got to I mean, you really got to be trusted in some you don't want your OC in DC doing that shit. You would probably, I guess, prefer having some director of recruiting doing that crap. You know, I think that you're looking more for like your non-coaches to be doing your recruiting, and then you have to wonder how good they are at. I think it should be after. I think 1 week is more than enough for a portal window, and should be right after the national championship. I think it should be right after the national championship. I just don't see the purpose of doing it during the playoffs. I mean, because it's not just during one game; it's during potentially three playoff games, or at least two playoff games, semifinals, and the championship. That could be a problem for some people. I hope we have that problem. Needless to say, you know. But I'm glad they got rid of the spring portal window because that was just downright ridiculous. That you could go to a school and then go to spring ball and then leave. That just fucking stupid. Just absolutely stupid to me. I do think Miami's gonna have a bunch of guys leaving. I think they're gonna have a bunch of guys leaving. You know, those are just the names off the top of my head. Emery Williams is gonna be out of here, I'm sure. I'm sure Jordan Lyle's gonna be out of here. I'm sure Ray Joseph will be out of here. You know, just looking at some other names here. Don't be shocked if some of these receivers leave. I mean, I mean, my biggest concern with Joshua Moore is not playing him, and he hits the portal. Just being real. Joshua Moore concerns me because I think you having that big target, that 6'4", 215, 220-pound wide receiver, you don't want him to leave. You definitely don't want him to leave. There's other guys that maybe you don't care as much about. I don't want JoJo Trader to leave, but they have created a situation where if CJ Belly ain't coming down here, I don't know. You know, looking at the rest of these guys, I mean, those are the big name, the bigger names to me. Um, Defensively, I mean, the defense. Looking at the guys on defense, I don't think a lot of defensive players are going to leave because we have a pretty. I don't think we're going to lose a lot of defensive players. Yeah, I don't think we lose a bunch of defensive players because we have a lot of. I mean, there's a bunch of older guys in this defense as well. I mean, you're not going to lose Frederic. You're not going to lose Poiser. You're not going to lose Bryce Fitzgerald. You're not losing those. You're not losing them. You're not losing Xavier Lucas. The secondary, you're not losing Damari Brown. The secondary should be nasty. The secondary should be absolutely nasty. Justin Scott, I mean, he's been looking good. He played a lot last game. He was everywhere last game. That guy was all over the field. He played well against Syracuse. I'd be surprised if he took off because he's playing well. I mean, we already know that Ruben Bain is going to turn pro. We know that Akeem Mesdor is going to be turning pro. So those guys are gone just because they're David Blay is a senior. I don't know if he has any eligibility left after this season or not. Wesley Basaint's a senior. Mo Toure is gone. He's a senior. So I don't know. We're gonna lose Keontae Scott, obviously. He's a senior. We're gonna lose Jacoby Thomas. He's a senior. So we're gonna lose guys, but I don't know that we're gonna lose a lot. I think we need linebackers. We definitely need some linebackers. That I agree with you. We need some linebackers because long are the days that we had a 6'3", 240-pound monster deep middle linebacker. Like there was a time where the Miami Hurricanes produced middle linebackers like you drink water. Like you can go down the list of guys that we had going back into the 80s. Those middle linebackers were crazy good. We haven't had a dominant middle linebacker since I would say Vilma. Maybe someone can think of somebody else, but I don't think that we've had a dominant linebacker since and I don't think we've had a dominant middle linebacker since Vilma. Like we may have had some decent ones, but nothing like you go back to the 80s, you go back to the George Myra, you go back to then Bernard Clark, Maurice Crump. I don't think Denzel Perriman was a dominant linebacker. I think he was a good linebacker. I wouldn't put Perriman nowhere near the Vilma level, not in college. I mean, I remember Perriman was 5'11". He was 5'11". He wasn't I mean, I'm talking about 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 230, 240, just truck, you know, or just a guy who, I mean, yeah, he hit people, but I don't think he was a dominant linebacker. You know, if you go back to those days where they were, you went from George Myra to Bernard Clark to Maurice Crum to Michael Barrow, you know, Ray Lewis, and then it's just like one after the other after the other after the other, and it was nonstop. It was just like a rotation of guys. Like if any of you guys are late '80s, early '90s guys, like think about the fact that we had Michael Barrow, Darren Smith, and Jesse Armstead playing linebacker at the same damn time. I mean, what the like what? You know, what? Like, think about that type. Like, who the heck is the other linebacker besides Wesley Basaint? Mo Toure. Mo Toure is a transfer. We've had him for a season. This is the only year he'll be here. Yeah, James Williams could have been if he would switch positions. Yeah, I agree. He could have been, but yeah, could have been. There's Mo Toure. I think is good. I don't think he's great. I like his attitude, but I don't think he's great. There's a reason he went to Rutgers. I think people forget. Like, there's a reason guys go to certain schools for 4 years. For 3 years. I mean, there's a reason. Like think about the guys that like Zachariah Poiser. He didn't go to Jacksonville State for 3 seasons before transferring. He went to Jacksonville State for 1 season, and then he got the hell out when he dominated. You know, so can't blame any wide receiver for no. It's hard to blame somebody when you're not throwing the ball. When you're not throwing the ball, like who the hell decides I want to play wide receiver so I can run a swing pass? I want to play wide receiver so I can run a screen. People play wide receiver because first of all they're pretty boys typically. They're typically pretty boys. They're diva-ish, and they want to show off. You don't show off running screens. You show off going deep. Am I wrong? You show off mossing motherfuckers. Like that's how you show off, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like I know why. I know why dude left. I know why freaking Isaiah Horton left. They didn't trust these guys. They didn't, like the fact that you would rather be the number 3 option than the number 1 option is crazy. And like think about that. He's the number 3 option. Number 3 option for Alabama. He would be our number 1 outside threat. And all because they didn't trust that these guys would develop him, even though he had developed in this program, but they didn't trust him. They didn't trust his coaching staff. And now you look back and you say, well, looks like they were right. Because he'd be running pass patterns for the hell of doing it. He'd be running pass patterns to just run back to the huddle. He'd be running passes just to run back to the huddle. Yeah. It's wild. It is wild. Some wild stuff, man. Who's anyone here going to the game on Saturday? If you are, leave a comment. Let me know. Oh, by the way, once again, just to mention it again, you grab some merch from the merch store. Grab any Hurricane Unfiltered merch. I will send you a free lanyard. So please do appreciate y'all supporting the merch store. I'll put the link up right here. You can also get to the merch store by going directly into you can also go right to the merch store and go in directly into hurricanesunfiltered.com and click on the merch store. And also I do have a Discord channel. I'm not on it a lot, just being honest. But if you want to jump on board the Discord channel, we do have a group of people that do like to converse on there and have a good time. So this is the link for the Discord channel. Feel free to join. We do have a Hurricanes Unfiltered section. The more people we get, the more likely I'll jump on there and shoot the shit with y'all as well. But that's all I got for tonight, man. Not going to any more games. My heart still hurts from Louisville. Oh, I don't mean I mean this weekend. Are you going to Pittsburgh? No, I would honestly, I gotta think about that because I mean I don't have plans on going to it, but shit, if they're 9-2, if they're both 9-2, I might. I can't say I won't. I might consider it. I might just because no, it's Thanksgiving, right? Oh, I can't go. I can't right now. I don't even know if these flights are even going to take off right now. Like that's the biggest fear with this travel is you don't even know these flights are going to take off. You have no idea right now what's happening with airlines and cancellations and all that stuff. It is a hot mess out there right now across the country with the airlines. So, I have no idea what's happening with the airlines and if there's going to be, flights taking off or being canceled. So that would be really, really shitty if you got plane tickets and then they cancel your flights to Pittsburgh. That would absolutely suck. And then yeah, that would suck. That would absolutely. By the way, reminder: I am doing the live again this Saturday. I'll be at the stadium, so I'll be doing the same live I did. I don't know if any of y'all were on it. If you were on it, again, I can't zoom in the camera. It's on my iPad, but I'll provide the commentary and I'll give you the video from the box. And check it out. Jump on board. We'll be starting off at 3:30, of course. That's when the game starts. And after the game ends, we jump over to the press conference. And yeah, hopefully we're talking about a win. And if we, after I get home, then I'll be doing a live on BKFC and UFC. So if you're interested in those sports as well, please do jump on board. But that's all I got for tonight, people. I appreciate y'all jumping on board. If you haven't done so yet, please leave a like, hit the like button, and of course, subscribe to the channel. That's all for this evening. I'm your boy, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. This is Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.